Hi there. Today I want to speak to your friends and family, to those who love someone who's chosen this different path for their children's education, unschooling. Maybe you've heard the term and thought, why, they're doing what? It's natural to feel a little concerned. But I want to take a few minutes to clear up some misconceptions.
And hopefully ease your mind.
I know you're here because you care about kids in your life, and that's a beautiful thing. First, let me address one of the big misconceptions right away. No, your family member has not joined a cult and there's no Kool-Aid involved. I know it can feel like unschooling is so different from a traditional educational system that it seems radical. But really, the heart of unschooling is about empowering kids to learn in ways that are natural, engaging, and aligned with how they truly grow. The goal is thriving kids, involved parents, and a strong family connection. We're just doing things a little differently. Trust me, it's not as scary as it sounds. I'm Sue Patterson, and this is the Unschooling Mom to Mom podcast. I've been helping families step away from the school approach to learning since we walked away from schools ourselves nearly 30 years ago. I had no intention of homeschooling. I hadn't even heard of the word unschooling. But school just didn't
fit.
I thought it would be a temporary thing, just to give them some time to mature and give us a chance to connect and explore the world together. Just wanted things to slow down a little bit. I felt like we were on a conveyor belt that was going faster and faster. So we stepped off of it. And then over time, I couldn't think of a good reason to go back. I always told myself, I'll do this until it stops working. I pay tax. The school have to take them back. And one of our kids did go to high school for a year and a half, but then mid-year returned to unschooling. Now they're all grown up in their 30s with homes and families and degrees and businesses of their own. All the regular things. The doors didn't close for them because we took this unconventional path. Actually, more opened because they had so many more opportunities to explore and discover interesting things out in the world. I know one of the biggest worries for our family members, whether you're a grandparent or an aunt or a close friend, is how are they going to learn everything they need to know without school or a structure like that? Most of us grew up going to school, so that's all we know. But it's not really the only way kids can learn. You know that saying, you learn something new every day? It's true, isn't it? We don't stop learning because we're not in a classroom anymore. Kids are the same way. Unschooling embraces the fact that children are naturally curious and capable of learning from the world around them in ways that suit their individual interests and pace. And here's the thing, kids are learning all the time. They may not be learning the way you might be used to with textbooks and worksheets and a set schedule of subjects, but they're learning in ways that are often more meaningful and more long-lasting. Think of it like this. Instead of following a one-size-fits-all curriculum, we're creating an individualized learning experience for each child based on what excites them. And yes, there's structure, but it's flexible and designed around what works for that particular child. It's not chaotic and aimless, even though it might look that way compared to most of our school experience with learning. But kids are learning through their daily lives, whether they're baking and learning fractions in the kitchen or reading a book about dinosaurs because they're fascinated by them, or visiting a local museum and diving deep into history. The world is full of opportunities to gain knowledge, and unschooling is about recognizing and embracing all of them. It's not just academic either. Unschooling allows for emotional intelligence, problem-solving skills, and a strong sense of independence to develop naturally. Sometimes when you hear unschooling, you might picture children doing whatever they want, with no direction or learning at all. And that's a common misconception. But it couldn't be farther from the truth. Unschooling is an intentional, thoughtful approach to learning that honors each child's interests and natural curiosity. I had a PDF to help with some of the more common questions and help you conquer some of the myths that maybe you've heard. Also a blog post, kind of a bullet list to help you understand a little more about unschooling. I want you to have whatever you need to get the answers you're looking for. I'll put the links in the show notes. Yes, unschooling is legal. And no, there's no national or worldwide system set up as a governing body. Different states have different rules when it comes to legal requirements, and I have a variety of resources that your unschooling family member has probably already tapped into. You can ask them what's expected where you live. But the best explanation is that each family is kind of their own private school, functioning within the loose framework that the state or the country sets, but then has the freedom and flexibility to do what's best for the kids on an individual basis. Another big question is often about unschooling kids getting into college. And yes, they can, and they do. They take the assessment tests, often at a community college level, and then take the courses they need for the degree that they're seeking. Scholars go on to universities, trade schools, entrepreneurship, you name it. The beauty of unschooling is that it encourages critical thinking and creativity and problem solving, skills that are incredibly valuable in today's world. Many colleges now even actively seek out homeschoolers and unschoolers because they've developed the ability to take ownership of their education. And then as they get older, unschoolers often pursue internships, apprenticeships, or other projects which give them real-world experience and connection. They're not only prepared for life after unschooling, they're often more engaged and ready to contribute to the world because they've been given the freedom to figure out what they truly love. I've done several podcasts about how unschoolers are getting into college, and I even wrote a book called Homeschooled Teens, where 75 people from 15 to 39 years old answered questions about what their lives were like as teenagers taking this unconventional approach. I'll put links for these resources in the show notes too.
I get it.
This way of learning can seem unfamiliar,
Maybe even risky.
but unschooling is an intentional choice by parents who want to help their kids develop into curious, confident, capable adults. And they're succeeding. We have several decades now of unschooled kids who have gone on to higher education, started businesses, or now are in careers they love. If you want to support your loved one's choice, the best thing you can do is stay curious and ask questions with an open heart. Listen to the parents, talk to the kids, and see what excites them on this journey. And trust that parents are doing what they believe is best for their child. That's what we all want, right? At the end of the day, unschooling may not be what you're used to, but it's a path that works for so many families. And your support means the world to them. It can really make a difference in helping them feel confident in their decision. So keep the conversation going with them. When you talk with the kids, see what excites them and move the conversation in that direction. We all can kind of get into ruts in our conversations with kids, things like, how was your school day? Or what did you learn today? It may really work. And I'm not sure it really works with school kids either. I remember hearing a lot of, I don't know, or just shrugs. So kids aren't that much different. Nobody really wants to be quizzed. They can feel that there's some kind of performance expectation happening, right? And most of us shy away from why. If you talk with them about their hobbies or what games they're playing or if they've watched anything interesting, you might get better answer. Think about a Saturday. What kinds of fun things do you think kids do when the weekend is theirs? That's why unschooling is kind of like a life full of Saturday. Exciting, really. You'd be surprised what learning weaves into all the different activities that kids are engaging in. And just in case you're wondering, this isn't something that families are doing without support. The internet has so many resources now to help parents find interesting ways to dive into topics that they don't know about. I have a website full of ideas and a coaching group where parents brainstorm and share resources all the time. Your loved one is not alone in this. Unschooling is really about building trust between parent and kid. It's about trusting that children are naturally curious and will seek out learning opportunities when they're ready. When we have a lot of trust, we can see what they're learning. Parents are more like guides and resource finders. The relationships that grow from this approach are incredibly strong. It's not about opting out of education. It's about stepping into a more flexible, personalized way of learning. If you want to learn more, or if you have more questions, I mentioned that free resource I have for you. It's called Understanding Unschooling, a Family Member's Toolkit. You can download it at the blog post or in the show notes. Thanks for tuning in today. And remember, this journey may be different, but it's one full of growth and trust and connection. I am confident that the PDF and the blog post will answer many of the concerns that you may have. And if it would help and you want to talk to someone about it, you can always book a quick 30-minute call with me and we can tackle any additional questions you have. So until next time, I'm Sue Patterson. Enjoy your family and happy unschooling.